Hello world, I'm Carp. Welcome to Shadows of Forbidden Gods. This is a turn-based strategy game about us being an elder god that is awakening in a fantasy world. Now this game is still in early access, as you can see here, version 0.0 or 0.13, so quite early, but regardless of that, this is one of the best games I've played in years. Like honestly, I think if I think back in the games that something that has excited me as much as this game, the last game was Cultist Simulator, so yeah. But let's just start a new game instead of try to explain stuff here. So first of all, we gotta pick our god, which dark god we're playing as, and we're gonna play as She Who Will Feast here first. And that's because the first time you play this game, it requires you to beat the game as She Who Will Feast before it lets you play any of these other gods that are here. There are some gods here, and since this is still in really early access, I'm assuming that they're gonna add more gods into this game. And also, this game is already quite mod friendly, as I understand, so people can mod in new gods and stuff like that. But yeah, we're gonna play with She Who Will Feast, who is a god worm, a terrible creature from the black of the void between stars, who has lain dormant for millenniums of years, until the stars are ripe for her hatching. A time will come when she will devour the world and journey forth to lay her brood, dooming other worlds to be consumed by her offspring. So, here's some things about her, and there's some actual strategy tips over here. We're not gonna read those. You can read them, you know, you can pause and read them if you want to, but it's not really that important. Here we're gonna set the game options. We're gonna play on normal difficulty, and the world size is gonna be 42 × 42 because that is the default. In this game, smaller maps are easier and larger maps are more difficult, and that is because of the fact that the main way of winning this game is to corrupt a certain percentage of the world. And if there are more people in the world, then it's going to be harder. If there are less people in the world, it's going to be easier. We're going to pick a random world. We're not going to click this a couple of times and we get a number that looks nice for some reason. That looks nice. I'm going to click on the advanced options. I'm not going to do anything here. Everything here I've set to default. But just so you can see. So first of all, we have a turn limit in this game, but we can remove that. We can add orcs. We can add deep ones. We can add elves. Elves aren't on for default. I don't know why. The humanity can do an alliance at some point, and we're going to have the alliance to be vigilant. And we're gonna have some other stuff here as well. I'm just, you know, showing this so you can know that there are options to change. Like, you can change this, the way this game plays, quite a lot. So, let's just start. Okay, basics, we don't need to read the basics, this is very simple stuff. But Shadows of Forbidden Gods is a game of infiltration and secret plans. Okay, so the way we play this game is we have our agent here. Well, we have several agents, actually. So we use our agents, we control our agents. We tell them to go to places and do things. Now, how do we... Well, okay, let's just tell this guy to go to this city for first here, okay? So I'll just show you the basic things here. We have challenges here. And you can see all the challenges have a color, or no color at all, for rest and resupply. And they have stats here, which is profile, menace, and complexity. So complexity is... that's how many points we need to accumulate to have this thing happen. And as it is purple, purple means that it's an intrigue challenge. So we have 4 intrigue on this character. And if we hover over here, we can see that this would take us 63 turns because of the fact that our intrigue is 4. So every turn we get 4 points, and after 63 turns we would have gained to 250 points that this would require. Now, we most definitely don't want to do that. But infiltration is like the main heart of this game, or it's like the most basic level of what you want to do. You want to infiltrate places. You want to put the worshippers of our dark god into those places. Now, let's click on this city. I'm going to explain you about a couple of the important things here on a city. Now, first of all, these big numbers here are very important. This is infiltration. So how much have we infiltrated? As you can see, the city has 3 things here. It has a palace, it has the vast sewers, and it has a market. So we need to infiltrate all of those for infiltration to be full. Now, enshadowment here means that how much our influence has corrupted this place, basically, I think. Like, our dark influence on the world. Here's the Elder Tomb, which is 100% enshadowed. And that's going to spread shadow to adjacent locations, and then the shadow is going to spread from those locations to other locations. So it's going to be spreading and spreading all the time. Now, another very important thing about cities is the security number here. Now, security straight up adds to the complexity of infiltration missions. So, security 8, that's actually a huge number. So if we look at this like cathedral here, here is security 1. That's like the where we want to start. Now, there are many ways to decrease security in places. Now, that's basically what the main strategy, at least in the beginning of the game, is to reduce the security in cities, and then once you have reduced the security, infiltrate a city, and then we have an action that we can do here in a city. You can see there are a lot of actions that we can do here. A lot of actions that we can do here, as you can see. And some actions that are, for some reason, locked. Now, this is what I was going to show you here, first of all. The In-Shadow action, because this makes, once a place is 100% infiltrated, a city. We can only do this in cities. Then we do this here, that's going to add 100% shadow to the place. And that's kind of like the most basic means of trying to get to a victory, because if we look at victory here... Oh, did I leave this on endless? Damn it! Normally this has a 500 churn limit, but I have apparently left it on endless because last time I was playing I was testing it on endless to see if there actually is a reason to ever play it on endless, but yeah, well, it doesn't really matter that much. It's endless now. We're gonna treat it as if there was a 500 churn limit. If we go to churn 500 and we haven't won yet, we're gonna consider that a loss. But if we look at victory here, if we like hover over victory here, we can see that there are points to win it 200. And the way we can get points is from percentage of population in Dark Empire. A Dark Empire is a thing that we can create later on, not in the very beginning, because that requires a lot of things. And then Enshadowed and Insane Rulers and Heroes. Oh yeah, there are heroes on this world. Like this here is a hero. The heroes have things that they want to do that are... all of that reads here. Like, we can actually figure out what they want to do, what they're doing, why they want to do that, and why they're doing that. Because if we look at here, the motivations: menace, dislike combat, international relations. So this person here, who is the mage Yongbiang, you know, she apparently likes to do things that aren't related to combat. Because if we look at her, we can see that she dislikes combat and likes, well, some other person. You know, she's peaceful. She's a mage. She knows magic. And if we look at... There's a way to see all the heroes in the world. Well, there are quite a lot of heroes in the world. Let's not worry about that right now. So, yeah, the basic of this game is infiltrate places, get the security of... Oh, and right, the most important thing about how to easily reduce the security of cities is by infiltrating locations next to cities that are connected to cities. For instance, this city has 5 connections, as you can see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we manage to... Well, one of them is the Elder Tomb, so that doesn't actually count. Because we can't infiltrate the Elder Tomb, because that's just... That's where we sleep. There's no one there to infiltrate. It's just like... It's our tomb. So... But there are 4 places here that we can infiltrate. So if we infiltrated this castle, this abbey, this cathedral, and then if we also manage to infiltrate this city, which is easier to infiltrate, the security is only 6 because this was the capital, right? That was one of, yeah, capitals get up extra on their security. You can see there at the bottom there's a +1 base, +2 city, +3 capital, and then +2 ruler intrigue stat. Because every ruler also has stats, like we have, they also all have an heir. All of the characters in this game have a family tree and stuff like that. This is a vast game. This game is huge in, well, all the things that it's trying to do. But yeah, maybe let's actually start playing the game, and I'll explain as we go. So first of all, yeah, this place, Security 8, we're not going to be able to really infiltrate this city. So let's zoom out a little bit. You know what? Let's zoom out a lot. Let's show you the entire world. Now, this is the entire world that we are working with. We got one big continent here, we got a little island here, and a couple, like, a smaller continent, and we could maybe call this an island as well. Now, normally in this game, you can't zoom out this long. You actually have to click a thing in the options. To go to options, there's like unlimited zoom, and turn that on, because this makes scrolling the map quite slow compared to how it is when we're like close by. It's quite faster. So what we really want to do now is we want to find a city that is that has very little security. Okay, so this one only has 4 security. Let's go here. So we're gonna pick our supplicant here. That is our first agent. First of all, this little button here tells us that she can level up, so let's level her up. I assume that it's female because there are events here, and all the events they always call the supplicant a she. But it just might be that all the events are written so that instead of the, you know, that every, that's always she, her, you know, what are they called? Pronouns, yeah, all the pronouns I think might be just the female versions, which, just gotta say, as a Finnish person, I really don't like gendered pronouns. In Finland we don't have those, never had any issue about this, and apparently having gendered pronouns causes issues, so just let go of them. Forget all about gendered pronouns. Figure out non-gendered pronouns. That's much easier. So, we want to give her a level, and we could give her Conduit. Whenever this agent completes an In-Shadow challenge, gain 2 power. Oh yeah, power. Let's talk about power here first. So we got, at this moment, we have power 101. Also, you can see here, seals broken, 0 of 9. So, as time passes, we're gonna break more of our seals, because, you know, we've been sealed in here with apparently 9 seals, and as time goes by, we're gonna be breaking those seals, and as the seals break, we get more power, and we can use that power with our, you know, we get, I was gonna say we get power to use powers, but, you know, we get abilities to use with our power. Right now we only have Cloud Senses, which isn't that useful in the beginning, because that just makes it so that we can make the heroes lose progress on things they're doing. That's sometimes very, very, very useful, but, you know, not really in the beginning. So those are the ways we affect with our agents and with power. Also, as you can see here, we have agents 1 out of 2 at this moment, and we have a recruitment point. So let's recruit ourselves another agent. So let's create agent. We have unique agents up here, and then we have a generic agent down here. And once we started to actually corrupt the world a lot, some heroes might be corrupted, and we can make them into our agents as well. Now, normally what I do in the beginning is I just infiltrate. I spend like the first 200 turns or something just infiltrating. But let's not do that this time, just to show you guys some other things we can do in this game. Okay, so we got some orcs here. Let's see if we can find some orcs somewhere else. I think that was 2 different hordes just right next to each other, which isn't the, you know, that's like the worst possible situation, and they're up here in the north, and they got like no room to expand. As you can see, like this also had habitability, like these places, and if habitability is, I think it's if it's less than 5, you can't like expand there. So we can't actually expand these. Are these orcs fighting with each other? This is the orc army of the Bayern Hills Horde. Yeah, this is the Bayern Hills Horde, and they are at war with this other orc faction. Okay, I was gonna wanna use the orcs to make some trouble here with the humans, but that might not be the best thing to do right now. And I can't see any other orcs anywhere. Like here would be. Oh wow, there's absolutely no one here. Huh? Were the orcs? Were they? They're not even close to water. Yeah, because we could like. I think it's possible to make an orcish shipyard, steal some ships from humans, and then sail to like over the ocean to expand your orcish horde. But well, you know what? Let's still start by making ourselves an orc agent. Okay, create agent. We're gonna warlock, because I like orcs. Orcs are my favorite fantasy race. So yeah, we're gonna put that guys there, and we're gonna give him command. Every time you get a new agent, you get a level up for free. And we're gonna give him command for a particular reason that I'm gonna talk about pretty soon as we get back to him, because I just realized that I'm trying to talk about so many things at the same time that I get lost on myself. So, first of all, we wanna level up the supplicant, right? The supplicant gets special level ups in the beginning, so we could give her Conduit, which makes every time she does the In-Shadow challenge, we gain 2 power, right? That's why I was talking about power suddenly, and then starts talking about the agent and stuff like that. I usually don't find this to be that useful, because I usually do not use my supplicant to do the In-Shadowing. I get another agent that has more, because In-Shadow is a lore challenge, and you can see our lore is only 2. So I like to get characters or agents that have more lore to do the In-Shadow challenge. And then there's Master for the Dark. When killed in a human settlement, all points of interest become infiltrated. Now, I assume that this means all points of interest in that settlement. which means that this is not that useful. I mean, sure, it would mean that like we could infiltrate this place that has 8 security by just having our supplicant die here, but I'd rather keep her around. And then lastly there is the dying light. When in a human settlement, increase shadow by 1% per turn. Now that might seem like 1%, well that's not that much, because, well, we're gonna pick that, because, you know, we need to get to 100 for it to be like what we actually want it to be. But, as you can see, sometimes these actions take a lot of time. So, instance, now we're gonna go to, like, I thought we were gonna infiltrate this one. So let's tell her to go to Xiang Citadel here, and then the Orc, we're going to go for views, map views here. We are going to go for modifier finder, and alright, there's this weird thing. Okay. Sometimes this just because if you're locked onto something, it shows you what's in that thing. Like this shows us what we can do here in the fortress. So the map views don't really work. So you gotta click on off like somewhere that isn't like a place so you can actually see the modifiers. In the beginning of the game, there maybe aren't that many modifiers, but the modifiers are gonna grow. There are gonna be more modifiers later on. But what we want to do is we want to find a wandering manticore. And it seems like there are no wandering manticores in the north. Where are all of our wandering manticores? Okay, all the wandering manticores are down here. Okay, so we're gonna have our warlord Ains here go all the way here, because one of the first things I always want to do with a warlord is to fight a manticore, because the manticore gives us an item that makes life easier after that. So we'll send him there, and we'll send our supplicant wherever they were going, and then we're gonna press 0 to get back to the normal view of the world. Now I'm gonna complain a little, just a little right here to start. Like, this is an early access game. This isn't actually that much of a complaint as it is an idea, maybe if you know, the devs would here be and watch this video. So this is where our agents are. If I click on an agent, then suddenly our agent things are here. And as you can see, it's not just that they're moved this way, they're also moved down. Like this is, in my opinion, this is quite horrifying UI design, because you cannot have an important button move around. So what I think they should really do with these is just put them down here. We got space down here that isn't used. Just put these agent symbols down here, and then they don't have to move away from like when this information screen comes up. But you know, that's just a little. I think that's the only thing that I find kind of tedious in this game, is the fact that these jump around. But, early access, you know, it's probably gonna change. Like the UI is usually the thing that changes last. Like that's the thing you finish last. But anyways, let's end turn. And for everyone out there, if you ever want to play this game, there is a quick button for end turn, and that is the spacebar. So we're just gonna be clicking the spacebar until the game tells us that someone. Okay, so the supplicant has arrived. Right. So now that we're here in Xi'an Citadel, Security 1, we are gonna go and infiltrate this fortress over here. That's what we're gonna do. Oh, actually, let's choose the character actually and infiltrate the fortress. There. All the places like we can check. Oh, there's some unrest here as well. Unrest actually decreases security sometimes. Like if there's enough unrest, then the security decreases. But we're not gonna have that here, and it's gonna take us what, 19 turns to infiltrate this place. Yeah, like in the beginning, this game has a very slow beginning. I'd say like it takes until like I'd say maybe like a turn 100 before this game actually gets to the point where you maybe have to do something every turn. In the beginning, it's just, you know, press spacebar and let things happen. Orc suppression. Okay, so someone get killed. They just crashed the other orc horde completely. God damn it. So the orcs aren't gonna be very much used for us. So there are many ways in this game that you can do things. And sometimes you want to maybe have the humans start a war with each other, so that the heroes are part of the war and they won't come around and, you know, stop you from doing other things you are doing. For instance, as we can see here, you can see maybe like these teeth here. That means that this city actually has, if we look for modifiers here, has a Deep One cult in it. Ooh, that's very nice. And the Deep One cult will grow on its own, As you can see here, right now it is at 53%, and it will change by 1% every turn. It also has menace and profile. Look, you know what? Let's talk about menace and profile here. So let's look at our hero here, or not hero, agent. They have profile and menace. So profile is how far they can be seen. There is a, if we press, actually, let's just use the map view here. There is a profile map view here. If I have chosen my character here and I click on this thing, it will show me how far they are seen. As you can see, no one can see them right now. There are absolutely no heroes on this area to see them. So this guy's pretty close, but even he can't actually see them because their profile is 0. Once the profile grows higher, the area that they are visible to will grow higher as well. And menace is something then that will cause the heroes to react. Like if we look at, for instance, this mediate politics situation here, it says that menace 42. Well, if we go to the particular city of Zhao, there is some political instability here. Okay, so the political instability here seems to be 85%. The menace here was 42%, so it looks like it's about half of the political instability that is considered to be menace, and that causes, like, menace is the thing that causes heroes to act, or it causes points to increase for these things so that they can act. So once our people start getting menace, the heroes are gonna be wanting to start fight our people here. And that's bad. There are ways to get rid of menace, but as you can see, there's also a minimum here. That minimum will also grow, and at some point that minimum is just going to be so great that you can't really get your menace to be so low that the heroes, if you are close by to a hero, they will start attacking you if your menace gets way high. But as I said, there are ways to mitigate that. But once again, let's just keep infiltrating here. We're basically... Oh, map views! Okay, this is one of the things I also really love about this game. Like, the map views. Like, look how many different map views there are here. And they're all useful! Like, they're all useful for something. Now, my favorite is the infiltration view. Like, if you look at it, well, nothing is infiltrated now, but that makes it just so easy to see. Like, when you're doing infiltration and things, where do you want to go? Like, oh, nothing is infiltrated. Well, once this is infiltrated, how long is it gonna take? Let's just wait for... Okay, 13 more turns. Oh, the mediator. Okay, so now this character... No, not the mediator. This is the chosen one. It just happens to be that this time it is a mediator. Now let's go to mediator Quite Fugis. That's an interesting name. So this is the chosen one over here. The chosen one immediately becomes aware of our existence, that we are waking up. She's getting messages from some kind of god or something. And she likes madness. And dislikes danger. Well, that's not gonna be very good for the chosen one, really. But anyways, as we can see, what she's gonna do most of is she's gonna wanna warn the world. She's just gonna go around and telling people that, hey, a dark god is awakening. We should maybe do something about that. And at some point, she will start building an alliance. And then the alliance is going to... Well, the alliance is... It's a bad thing for us, because the alliance doesn't really like Shadow at all. And Shadow is our thing. Like I said, in victory points, did I even go through all of this? Because the main way we're gonna get points is from in Shadow population outside Dark Empire. Or once we get to the Dark Empire population in there. Also, population destroyed will give us some point. Hey, we already have some points. We have 1.101 points already. Okay, so that just means because our Elder Tomb is spreading the shadow. If we look at F4, that is the location shadow view. Oh, I love these views. We can see that there is already some shadow over here, and since our supplicant is just standing here, the shadow here has already grown a bit. So people are falling to our shadow a little bit. One thing I like to do with the chosen one is I like to go here and I like to click this watch button here. And every time she starts doing something, the game will inform us. I just like to keep that around so that I'll know, like, because if I see where she's going to warn the world, like now she's going to here, it kind of tells me that, well, I probably don't want to be doing anything close by to here. I just want to be doing things away from her. Because aware, when places are aware, or the rulers of places are aware, they're going to be wanting to, because, you know, they have local actions that they do, like what the leaders do. One of the local actions they can do is ward against Shadow right here. And we don't want that. We don't want them to be building wards against Shadow, so we don't really want them to be aware. So once they get aware, that's like a place where it's like, well, we don't want to be doing stuff there. We want to be doing stuff on the other side of the world. But yeah, let's just keep pressing. Okay, so the first seal is broken, and we got our new power, Eyes in the Shadow. Boost the infiltration in a selected location. Now, what I like to do with my first 2 power, also, there is a world panic here, and got our awakening sets the minimum. That's the basic, like the default setting that the God Awakening sets minimum. You can also just put it like that. Only your actions affect the world panic, which is what I like to do if I play on a larger world. That's what I like to use, the actions only affect it thing. But anyways, we got our new power here, which was Eyes in the Shadow. What I want to do with my first Eyes in the Shadow is, well, first of all, let's just zoom out again, and we're gonna use the view. What is it? Holy Orders view. Yeah, there are holy orders here. So these are like religions that are in this world. We have Daughters of Purity. Where are they? I can't... Wait. Oh, they only have 3 locations. Huh, that's interesting. We have Calling of Truth. That is this big religion here. And the Daughters of Tureni. This big religion here, and then we also have a Gennis circle, which is a witch's circle. It seems to be down here, so let's go back to the normal view, zoom down so we can get there and look at here. So we have a witch's coven here. What I like to do with my very first use of Eyes in the Shadows is infiltrate the witch's coven. Okay, why do I want to do that? Well, if we go here, click on the coven, and then we click on here where it shows their faith, it takes us to the faith screen here, and as you can see, we have elder influence and human influence that can, and all these religions can have elder influence and human influence. It's just that it's easier to influence the witches, as you can see. It only requires 160 points, everything else requires 200 points. Also, since they only have 1 location, after we infiltrated that 1 location, we get more from that, because if we look at oh, I think it's moral tenets we need to click to, yeah, because these things also not very logical here, what these things do. But if we click on moral tenets, and we see here, we can see that, well, 100% of faithful settlements infiltrated, because they had only 1 settlement, means we get +8 influence points per turn. And what can we use those influence points then? Well, once we hit 160, and let's click on structural tenets first. There is an alignment status that every religion has. Most of these actual religions have, like, they start at +3 for humans. The witches start at 0. So we can turn their alignment to negative, which means that they're going to start worshipping us as the dark entity that we are. And then we can start working, once we got them to work for us, really, we can make them, you know, build temples or preach. Or we can make them dogmatic, but this isn't something you really want to do, because this just increases these numbers to make them bigger. So you might want to turn something dogmatic once you've gotten to the point where you want it to be. Because what we want to be is, there are these moral tenets also. Yeah, these are the moral tenets here. And we can influence religions to make them do things that actually help us. Like, for instance, awareness of elder powers. If we just put it to negative, this religion will start removing awareness of elder powers from the world. And we can actually do that for every religion, but, you know, it's hard. It's quite hard to do it for actual religions. Like, you need to actually work on it to get these, like, proper religions to be doing good stuff for you. But with the witches, just, you know, infiltrate their first place, and that's almost all, pretty much all you need to do. So we're just gonna let them gather our dark influence there and let them be. And honestly, they're so on the other side of the world from where we are that's actually pretty good. Are they adjacent to any human settlements? Well, they are adjacent to some human settlements. Okay, that's good, because we're gonna have them start spreading shadow from their coven pretty soon. Okay, and let's go for our next turn. And yes, stuff happens. The game will give us information about things happening that might not be that interesting at this point, but you know, we're just gonna click through that. Okay, our warlord has arrived on the other side of the world. Let's go back to the modifier screen. I'm gonna press 6 here and check out where the Wandering Manticore is. Okay, it's on that coast. So we're gonna have you move there. It's still gonna take you until next turn that you actually get to share. Okay, so the chosen one's gonna wander the world. That's fine. Okay, now we're gonna have these mid-challenge events in this game. Like every time you do a challenge anywhere, maybe not every time, but most of the time we're gonna get a mid-challenge event here. So now we are met some curious nobles. The supplicant is brought before the Sikshan Citadel's curious nobles. The local elite have sought our pawn out and are willing to assist her, either to further their own mundane goals or to simply partake in something extraordinary. All must first be convinced of the one they are supporting before a single copper is given away. Your agent's refusal to prove herself would affect her mystic fame, possibly for the better. So we have options here. There's always abandoned challenge option, because sometimes both of the options might be like bad, and you might just want to abandon the challenge. So we could give them a display. So we're gonna gain 25 gold and lose 5 challenge progress, so basically a little more than a turn's worth of the progress there. And our profile is gonna be increased by 5. Since our profile is so low, we don't really care about. If we could contrive a falsehood, we'd lose 8 challenge progress and we'd lose 5 profile. Once again, our profile is 0, so let's just take the money here. I basically always take the money from this event, just because having a little bit of money with you is always a good thing. And yeah, then the game tells us, yeah, we're gonna have some mid-challenges. I'm gonna keep the hints on, just so that if something comes up that I forgot to talk about, and the game is on, hey, remember this thing? Oh, right. So yeah, agent recruitment. We already did that. We have 2 recruitment points. That's so if our people die, we can recruit more. Okay, and we're gonna have this guy defeat the Manticore. This is gonna take him 10 turns. But it's fine. It's fine. Like I said, about the first 100 turns, usually, you know, that's just set up. Maybe even the first 200 turns. Then that's when after that is when things start happening. So we're just gonna be pressing spacebar here. Awareness, yeah, I talked about awareness already. So some sister of the Daughters of Purity became aware. Now, so Daughters of Purity live here. Let's look at their religion, because I think that the reason she became aware is that they must have awareness of elder powers. No. Huh. Because usually when religious people become aware, it's because they have... None of the religions have awareness of elder powers. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's actually... Oh, they're all aware just because the chosen one went and made them aware. Okay. But no religion having awareness in the beginning means that the awareness is going to be spreading a lot slower than it does if they would have awareness as a religious tenet. So, yeah, that makes me super happy. Okay, let's... Yeah, she's gonna warn the world. Okay, another event here. Thunder cracks overhead and lightning rages in arcs across the sky as the very environment turns against Warlord Ains, who has found himself caught in a violent thunderstorm that threatens to topple trees and electrify the unfortunate. Little can be done by mortals other than seeking cover or wrapping up and braving the storm, but the servants of elder beings might be able to call upon their patron's power to endure what others cannot. So, our options here are, this will slow things down considerably, lose pretty much all the progress we made, or we could protect the Warlord Ains if we had some power. We don't, because we used all of that to influence the witches, or we could lose some HP. You know, I'm just gonna continue regardless, because we have 5 HP, and if he levels up, he's gonna heal to full, so we're gonna continue regardless. Oh, we lost the 4 HP. Now that's actually pretty bad, considering the fact that the defeat Manticore actually has some danger. So there is a possibility that we're gonna take 5 damage from this. And if we take that 5 damage from this, or up to 5 damage, I think it's, then we're gonna die. So let's hope that we don't take damage from that. I don't think I've ever actually taken damage from this. So the danger doesn't trigger always, and I think the higher the danger number is, the more likely it is to trigger, and the lower it is, the less likely it's to trigger. But you know, now that I'm recording, I'm pretty sure that we're just gonna die of this, but let's see. Okay, yeah, more sisters becoming aware, that's fine. Yeah, she's doing something. Okay, now we infiltrated the fortress. Okay, let's go here. Oh, and we broke a seal, so we got the fleeting servant power, which, yeah, something that we can create somewhere to as a distraction for heroes. Don't really need to be using that just yet. Okay, so now we have infiltrated this. I'm going to use the infiltration screen to see, where do I want to go and infiltrate next? Well, it's here. I don't really need to use that right now. Just doing it, you know, showing things. Okay, so we leveled up again. And the thing we're going to pick is stealthy. Loses 0.1 profile per point of intrigue every turn. So we're going to lose 0.4 profile of, 0.4, because our intrigue is 4, we're gonna use 0.4 profile every turn. I think this skill is pretty OP. Like, seriously, I think it is very overpowered. I think it needs to be nerfed for it to be balanced. But right now, you know, it's in the game, it's OP, I'm gonna pick it. Because that basically means that the heroes are never going to be aware of where our people are, or this person that is stealthy is. Also, as you can see, our minimum for these things is now 3. I think that the minimum is the your current divided by 3. Like, if your current menace or profile goes like higher than what is the minimum times 3, then you're going to, like, your minimum is going to increase. And it's clearly like divided by 3 and then rounded up. Because if we divide profile by 3, well, that's 2.1 third, and if we round that up, that's 3, so we are at 3 there. And as you can see, all the things that we can do increase our profile or menace in some way. Well, pretty much all the things. There are certain things, like we can rest and resupply. That's not good, because we're just gonna be resting. It's not gonna do anything bad. That would heal us. So let's go to Hoing Castle here. Ooh, there would be some ruins here as well. So there are also ruins in this game that we can explore, and then we can find stuff from the ruins. But if I remember correctly, so if we go here and look at the explore ruins, yeah, the complexity is 7. We're only gonna get 1 progress per turn, because this isn't related to any of our skills. And I think you need to do this 5 times to go through a dungeon, so that would take 35 turns. So we're not gonna be doing that. What we're gonna be doing instead is just our infiltration. As you can see now that we infiltrated here, why is the security still 1? Huh. Oh, right, of course, because it doesn't affect the place that we've infiltrated, right. Only adjacent locations lose 1 of their security for adjacent infiltrated locations. So the town of Gdao here has lost 1 of their security because we have infiltrated, and once we have infiltrated both of these, they are going to lose even more. So let's go back here and infiltrate, please, and oh! Oh, we got ourselves a new agent! Okay, so I think at this point, the next agent we're going to take is the courtier here, or the court, not the courtier. What am I saying? The courtier, court, not court. Right, because this guy is very, very good for infiltration missions. And like I said, I like to infiltrate in the beginning. So what we're gonna do first of all, we're gonna check out what is this kingdom here. This is the kingdom of Zhao. Okay, so the city of Zhao is the main location. What we're gonna do is we're gonna create agent. We're gonna create the courtier in this. Okay, let's go back to like the normal view, please. We're gonna create. Just clicking on the wrong things. We're gonna create the courtier here in the city of Zhao, and we are going to give him noble connections as his skill. The other skills he has is man of means, so we could get 150 gold if we wanted to, or familiar face. While in this unit's home location, that location loses 3 security. So only 1 location would lose 3 security when this person is there. And then there's noble connections. While in a city, that location loses 1 security. So any city will lose 1 security. And you know, in this world we have cities, we have like cathedrals, we have abbeys, we have castles. Cities are just these bigger hexes here. Every one of these is a city. And all cities have, I think, always at least 3 locations. They might have up to 4, because sometimes they have a temple as well. No temples in these cities here. Oh, there's a temple here, yeah. So they might have up to 4. Usually they have 3. These smaller locations usually only have only 1 thing. Like, for instance here, even there are 2 things here, we don't actually have to infiltrate the ruins. Sometimes there are 2 things. Yeah, okay, so for instance here, there is a holy site and catacombs as well. So sometimes there are 2 in these smaller places as well. And in this kind of situation, what you'd want to do is you'd want to... Why is the security 0? Wait, you're also adjacent to the citadel here, yeah. Only the lines matter, not how the hexes are placed here. But anyways, yeah, let's just keep on infiltrating there, and you... Now, the reason I wanted to create him in this particular city is because when we create some of these agents, I think the Trickster and the Monarch and the Dissident isn't... Well, this guy at least, and quite often also, I think these guys, they might become related to someone from that city. So if we look at his family here, yeah, his parents are some dukes and duchesses. Okay, it's the family of Byung. Who is still ruling family here? Okay, we didn't become related to the king, but that is just fine. Okay, so we're gonna send him to help the supplicant in the things that are happening here. How long is it gonna take you? Okay, it's gonna take you 13 turns. Okay, Mr. Courtierman, Courtier. For some reason, that pronouncing that thing becomes hard to me. Oh no! Petty bandits near to the Tang Castle. Your agent is ambushed on his way through the bandit-infested wheel that surrounds the Tang Castle. Their leader gives a simple enough choice: the courtier's gold or his life. They look ill-equipped to survive a battle, let alone a highway robbery, or even camping out here. They're half a dozen but lack organization. They have a leader but no leadership. These are not fighting force, just desperate fools. So if we had Might 4, we could just, just kill them. Or we could give all our gold or lose 2 HP. Now, we have 40 gold as we start with this guy. And 40 gold that's a pretty good amount of gold, because basically you want to have at least 25 gold on your infiltrators like all the time, because 25 gold is what you need to bribe gods. And if you bribe gods, that also decreases the security of a place. So we're just gonna take a little bit of a hit to our health here. And once again, we're gonna get our health back once we level up our first time, and leveling up first time is quite easy. We only need what, there is a way to get this to stick, I think. No, do we not have a way to get this to stick? That's weird, because if we go to a hero, I'm pretty sure we have a... No? If we go to a leader... Okay, if we go to a leader and click on the portrait, then this will stay open, but for some reason that doesn't work on, like, our characters, our agents, or it doesn't seem to work on heroes. Yeah, okay. That's also seems to be a thing that they should probably fix. But, early access, 0.13, this is still very, very early. And this is so good! Oh, okay, so we managed to kill the Manticore, so we're gonna take the Manticore trophy here. That increases might and command by 1. That is very good, and that's the reason we took... Okay, someone became aware as well. In the beginning, while we took an extra point of command, is that now our command is 6, and command tells us what is our command limit down here, because we can have minions, and the minions we're going to be looking for are wandering ogres. Okay, there are a couple of wandering ogres down here, so we're going to send our warlord over there. Ooh, that was in the agenda. And then we're going to conscript this ogre. It's going to take 5 turns to conscript an ogre. That's fine, because we want to have some minions, because the next thing we're going to do once we gotten those minions, we're going to go back all the way to the other side of the world, and we're going to smash this guy, and that means that we can then take control of this orcish force here. We're gonna have them expand a bit, and what is your... Okay, you only have 32 warriors here. Maybe we can create enough orc warriors here then, and we can have them attack this city, cause some extra violence in the world, make things a little bit darker and like that. But what I gotta say, one of the things I really, really like about this game is the fact that this feels like a board game, in a way. Like, this feels like we could make this in board game format. It's just that there's just so many things that playing this as a board game would be, like, tedious as can be. But as an actual, like, computer game, this is awesome. I love this, I love this, I love this. Okay, so our courtier has arrived there. Also, we can rename these people if we want to. So, like, this guy could be like Bob. Yeah, so he's gonna be Bob from now on, so I don't have to say the word courtier, because it feels like I'm mispronouncing it all the time. But yeah, we're gonna start infiltrating over here. That is also adjacent to the Xi'an Citadel, so it's only complexity 50, because there is no security here. And we're gonna be... Oh, we have 2 power again, so we could once again use our eyes in the shadows. What I like to do with this, well, after I've gotten the witches infiltrated, is I like to use it for cities. You know, because cities have... Oh, this city only has 2 things. I thought cities always had 3 things. Interesting. Wait, is it? Huh. Also, if we look at, like, here, most of these things there are different things we can do, like vast sewers. Once we infiltrate the sewers, we can start a plague from the sewers, which is awesome as hell. Okay, but yeah, we're gonna just use eyes in the shadows here, because this is the place where what we're trying to infiltrate right now. But as I look at my recording time, it seems like we've been playing here for 3/4 of an hour, and I think that might be enough for a first episode. So we're gonna be playing more tomorrow. And now, since this is the first episode in this series, I would really appreciate if you could, you know, click the like button, share this video with people you think might also enjoy this, and if you're new to the channel, you know, subscribe so that you don't miss the next video. But yeah, I think we're gonna take a break here. I'm Carp. This has been Shadows of Forbidden Gods. Goodbye, world. Thanks for watching. See you next time.